You. What's happening, people? Yeah, happy Father's Day. Not so happy for me. I don't think my kid called me once and said happy Father's Day in her life. Must be fucking nice. So who's here? Darcy? Bobbity? It's almost lunchtime. Can't miss lunch. Jesus Christ. Apparently it's a fucking real thing at Bobbity's. Happy Father's Day to you too. Richie. So yeah. So I did troll the fucking idiots at the No Kings rally. No Kings. How ridiculous. How ridiculous of a theme. If the theme of that rally was fuck Trump, I could respect that. But no kings? Like, what the fuck? And every one of them I talked to, apparently the mainstream media told them what to think. The one guy told me Trump has no power to do tariffs. That's up to the Congress. Bullshit. He doesn't have the power to do what he's doing in LA. Bullshit. It's just. Yeah. So, the weak greatness, what's up? Trump is not a king. No shit, weak greatness. Do you understand what I was doing? So, the name of this stupid ass rally was No Kings. That's ridiculous. We haven't had a king in hundreds of years. It's stupid. Trump hasn't done anything that makes him a king. Trump hasn't, our government isn't set up to be a king. He's never said he wants to be a king. So I got just as ridiculous at them as them and said Trump is king. I met their ridiculousness with more ridiculousness. It's that simple. And again, had they named the rally "Fuck Trump," that I could have respected. Right, Richie. The ironic part is that Trump was a king, the rebels would not have been able to protest. Right. No kings. What a fucking joke. What a joke. Oh my God. I'm running off my phone's hotspot because the Wi-Fi here blows. I don't think she's going to do anything about it. So, yeah. So I'm down there. The one side of the sign says, "Oh wait, let me see if I can. Can I? I'm wondering if, because see, the weird thing is I don't. How can I explain this? The email that this channel is hooked up to, right? I don't have that as my YouTube on my phone because they shut down my YouTube all the time because of comments I make. So I have a separate YouTube. I have a couple separate YouTubes, I think. It just gets very confusing. So I couldn't do shorts right from this channel. So let me see if I can access. Oh, man. Well, how the fuck would I do that? because I do have a couple videos, but it's nothing of any real consequence. What the fuck is the name of the page? I have another. Fuck. Yeah, I have this. It's called Jimmy from Philly. That's another channel that I could probably live stream from. So I think I have live streamed from this before. So let's see. Oh! Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I got nothing that I can put this fucking YouTube. My laptop, I had it on this fucking trash can. I almost knocked it the fuck over. See, I don't know how to. Okay. I think this is it. Yeah. I think so. Oh, wait. Shorts. No. God damn it. What fucking. That can't be it. Give me a second here. All right. Got Jimmy from Philly, right? So. Damn, I got. Wow. I just got a bunch of fucking channels. Oh, here it is. All right. I hate these fucking shorts, man. I can never. They don't give you time enough to stop them. All right. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. So here's my counter protest sign. That's one side. And there's the other. There it is. I'm going to make that eye a little bigger, huh? So here's my counter protest sign. That's one side. And there's the other. I'm going to make that eye a little bigger, huh? So here's my counter protest sign. Yeah, I actually found it. I'm fucking amazed that I actually found that. And I think I got some footage of the, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. So here it is, the famous Love Park, Philadelphia. There's City Hall. There's some firefighters and shit. And this is where this No Kings, what a cringe-worthy fucking name for a protest. It's supposed to jump off, right, in 2 hours. And there's like nobody here. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Look at these fucking signs. No Kings. What a fucking joke. Just what a fucking joke. Oh my God, man. No Kings. What a fucking cringe-worthy fucking name for a protest. Philadelphia rejecting kings. Oh, really? Speak for yourself, honey. I fucking love Trump. Fucking love him. I'm waiting for somebody to try to tell me I can't fucking film one of these fucking idiots. Yeah? Jesus Christ. Unfucking believable. I'm going to start looking for cinder blocks and bricks and pallets of them. Huh. Look, there's like nobody here. And they said they're expecting 30,000 people. It's supposed to start at noon. Right now it's 10 to 10. So, revolution, fight oligarchy. Jesus Christ. You got to be fucking kidding me, man. You've just got to be fucking kidding me. I never used to swear, but now I can't stop. That's what woman's sign says. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? They're handing out American flags. Ain't this some shit? I'm out. So here it is, the famous Love Park.
Hey, sir. You know why I pulled you over tonight?
Yeah, I got a pretty good idea. Hey, I got a big favor to ask you.
If you will, let's.
So here. Hold on. I think I got. I don't understand. What the fuck is going on? Give me a second. I'm trying to find. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm trying to find these other teams. I'm the underground reporter for the Hard Bash at the Hard News Network. No, this is the Trump shindig in Philly. Something different. God damn it. Fucking stupid. Jimmy. Fuck. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Cross that. No, stop screen. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. Figure this the fuck out. From Philly, once again, protesting these morons. Now they're screaming about Palestine, right? So, yep, I got my Trump is king
the other side that says liberalism is a mental illness. Fuck these clowns. Christ, why would you give a fuck about Palestine? You know what I mean? Unbelievable. I got to get back to agitating. See you. Jimmy from Philly, once again, protesting these morons. Now they're screaming about Palestine.
Yeah, I never streamed from my other channel, so it wasn't hard, but yeah. So, Shadow the Hedgehog, Revis, Shadow the Hedgehog. Are you the guy that I met yesterday at the protest? Is that you? How'd you find me there, Shadow the Hedgehog? Yeah, I got it more than a few middle fingers, and one guy blew an air horn near my ear, and I'm squaring up, ready to hit him, and these two de-escalator types got involved. The guy comes up to me afterwards. He's like, look, the guy's an asshole. I know what's wrong, but why don't you just leave this area? I said, I'm not leaving anywhere. I said, he comes near me again, I'm going to punch him in the mouth. That's how I'm going to settle it. I mean, maybe he should leave, you know? And as I started to leave, he started following me. He started running his mouth. I'm like, and I told him, next time you try that again, you're getting fucking hit. He went off on his little merry way. And then another guy tried to grab my sign. Like, he walked up to me. I knew he was going to grab it, and I folded it. And we were squaring up to fight, and people got involved. And then we were squaring up again because he got away from them. And then the police started running over. And he ran. Yeah, and then I got surrounded by all these kids. They weren't threatening me, but, you know, they were trying to mock me. And the one dude's, Mexican dude's, like screaming. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you screaming for? But they were all filming that, so. I got interviewed by a few news channels, so I'm sure I'll pop up with the Trump is King sign at some point. Somebody's going to see it and tell me about it. Which is the news station around here, radio, they interviewed me. And the guy was like, I've been looking for a counter protester for over an hour. He's like, you're the only one I can find. I'm like, how'd you know I was a counter protester? He says, Trump is king. Pretty funny. But I had fun. I mean, let me tell you something. I was down there for 5 hours. I was down there from 10 o'clock. I left around, I guess, 3:30. It kills me. The Weak Greatness says Trump is not a king. No shit. No shit. So I see this new guy, Dean Withers. You know, HB is like showcasing him because the kid's just a complete fucking moron. You know, and I'm getting too old to be dealing with you know, Pac-Man, you know, lookalikes, sound-alikes. The kid's got a bunch of people too. Yeah. Have you seen that protester getting tackled? Yeah, I saw somebody get tackled in some kind of clip. I don't know if I was watching at my brother's channel or HB somewhere. Somebody got tackled pretty good. Thanks, Darcy. Yeah, I had a lot of fun, man. I got the middle finger. I got a lot of laughs too. People were laughing. A couple of people were like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Are you? No kings?" And the one dickhead got a sign. We haven't had a king since 1776. No shit, Sherlock. No shit. Really? You know? They didn't even get the point of what the fuck. I didn't know the protest is this big. You know. I mean, what was the point of the protest? It was to disrespect Trump. That's what it was. And you talk to some of these people and they're brainwashed. Trump can't do that with immigration. Yes, he can. Trump couldn't do that in LA. Yes, he did. And yes, he can. Why did that judge? I'm like, why did the appeals court overrule it? Well, let me see if I can find that. Fuck. Ah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Ah. Nah, it's not. I couldn't find it. Bricks Vids. Bricks Vids. I haven't seen you before. How'd you find my channel? Welcome. Cyberbully. Yeah. You know what? I saw that, but I just typed it in and I can't find it. I type protester gets tackled at No Kings Rally. It wouldn't come up. My friend Steve watches you. Oh, the wheat. Yeah, I got the wheat greatness and the wheat. The wheatest heat. It confuses the shit out of me, the both of them. The two names. Spencer Carter. Is that his name? I couldn't remember his name. I let him have it. I was beating the balls off. What a retarded fucking. Is he still on the internet? I was trying to remember his last name. Let me see. Oh, he was just such a fucking retard. I'll bet you he's not doing it. Rants. Now, there's people talking about him, but does he still have a channel? Spencer Carter is pathetic. Cringe Archives. Yeah. Oh, Spencer Carter Live. He's got 22 subscribers. There's people bust his balls. So I guess he don't have a regular channel. Oh, thank you so much for his last name. I wasn't spelling it correctly. I couldn't find him. A lot of people bust his balls. I don't think he has a regular YouTube channel, does he? All right, Brick Vids, thanks for stopping by. Spencer Carter. What a fucking retard. Spencer Carter Live. Oh, he hasn't done a video in years. No. 3 years. I wonder what happened to him. Yeah, thank you for spelling that, because maybe I'll find him somewhere and break his balls again. That kid was a complete fucking retard. He's some kind of artist. You know, he gets all dressed up with a tie and just bucks the news right up. I give him an A for effort, though. I do. I do secretly respect him a little bit, because to be fucked up like he is and to try to put on a show, most guys like that won't even attempt that. So, but of course, he's on the wrong side of everything. So that's what makes it funny. So Spencer still does videos on his Facebook and Instagram. Okay. I'm in Facebook jail at the moment. Or, you know, see, I would have live streamed the protest, but I mean, I got a couple of videos, but they're shit. You know, it's not a me standing there and them reacting to me with the sign, because I can't hold up the sign and hold up the phone. You know what I mean? So now here's a guy. This guy's a stone cold lefty, right? And he trolls all the conservative type marches. But I love this fucking guy. He's just fucking funny. He's so stupid, he's funny. Oh, come on. What the fuck was that? Here's a shorter one of his. I just like this guy. I think he's funny. He makes fun of conservatives, but I think he's funny. I would never get mad at this guy.
We have it. I'm with them. We have it. No, you're not. Right. I already told you. I'm with them. No, you're not.
I wish I could tell you that I had.
I'm with them. No, you're not with them. You're on this. I'm with them. Okay, he's not with them. We hate women over there. Get the fuck out of here.
Not your body, not your choice. That's your mom's basement.
Your vagina, our choice.
We are not your property. Excuse me, that's why I'm trying. I want to go in here for when you say that.
Yes, you are.
Fucking dude is fucking priceless. The dude is fucking priceless.
That Pennsylvania has.
We have it. I'm with them. We have it. No, you're not.
The dude is priceless. The professional douche. He infiltrates this. They're paying homage to the police, and they left the stage for a second. He runs up on the stage, and he goes to the rally dressed as a pig. He got like this pig inflatable suit on. It's pretty funny. It's really funny. Do you like chicken tenders? Yeah, why not? Yeah. So why did Spencer get off YouTube? They killed his channel, and he ain't bright enough to figure out how to make another channel, huh? I think he got dissed so much on YouTube that he probably, couldn't take it anymore. That's pretty funny. Yeah, but you should look that guy up, professional douche. He's like a fat little troll, and he has this stupid look on his face. I subscribe you. Where are you from, man? You subscribe me? I got a bunch of subscribers over the weekend. I think I got like 5 or 6, which is a lot for my channel. And see, this is my 4th attempt at a channel. So my first attempt, I was doing very well. I had over 1,300 people the first 6 to 8 months, and then YouTube dinged me. They killed me. And then my second channel had like 500 people in a few months. They killed me. And the third channel, I think I had 300 or 400. And this channel's been gone for like 2 years, and all them subs just didn't come back. That's what YouTube does. Let me see something here. Where the fuck? Yeah, he did sub to me. I got 292, almost breaking 300 subs. YouTube like straight up banned you? Yeah, 3 times. Yes. You get 3 strikes and you're out, right? So most of my strikes were for medical misinformation. Whenever I talked about COVID, I didn't believe it. I thought it was all bullshit. They give you a strike. And for election misinformation, when I talked about the 2020 election and how I believe Trump won that and that they stole from him, yeah, they killed my channel 3 times over those 2 things, which means I had 9 strikes. You know what I mean? I've actually had more strikes than that, but because the strike goes away after 90 days, you know. But Moreno Valley, is that California, I guess? I think that's California, right? Where is Moreno Valley? Yep, California. Thought so. I don't know how I knew that, but I am from California. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Now, this Zay Zay, I think I've seen you before. Let's see if I can find anything interesting on YouTube. What the fuck? Do a little salty cracker. Some guy lost his nut from lost testicle after ice blasts him in the nuts.
Well, we got more videos all across the country in lefty-run Democrat hellscapes of ICE being attacked. There you go, back. I was told that was way worse than 9/11 and Pearl Harbor combined, Abe. Even the Brits burning down the White House. Wait, what worse? The worst thing ever. Worse than the Trail of Tears. Look at this. Look at it. And then they're just going to hit on with like some paintballs. Are you kidding me? You just threw a bike rack at a cop. You're lucky you don't get shot with like bullets, like just good old fashioned regular. Right? Guys shot Ashley Babbitt for way less than that. But yeah, no, of course it's happening. It's happening. This is Arizona, where Katie Hobgoblin stole an election, and everybody in this area is compromised by the cartel, and so they don't want immigration enforcement in Arizona. No. So they'll allow this. Is totally fine. And of course, these idiots are all revved up because lefty dickheads like Tim Waltz, this flapping fairy over here, is telling everybody that literally for serials, ICE agents are modern day Gestapo. They're worse than Hitler's. They're worse than 3 Hitlers and a slave owner. But no, that doesn't mean that. AOC, all of these people. When you call somebody a Nazi or a Gestapo, you're kind of emboldening these mentally ill goofballs with daddy issues into their moral superiority. Like, I'm doing this for the good of the world. I'm killing it. It's a dude enforcing the border, which is what we voted for, right? Remember how they kept saying Donald Trump's a threat to democracy? Well, democracy overcame a rigged election for this constitutional republic, and we want him to deport people and enforce the border. And now you guys are trying to set cops on fire who do that. That was Arizona. Let's head down to Austin, Texas. It's Austin, by the way. It's Austin. So this is the Arizona equivalent of Texas, again, run by the cartel. And these cops, they go beat the hell out of some of these idiots. Go for it, lads. Boom. Bam. Bam. Choke him out. Put your knee on his neck and his skull. This idiot's going to run in there. Bat. Nope. No, you're not. That dude picked him up. Oh, man. I wish this was not so pixelated. But here's a grown-ass adult lefty weighing 75 pounds because he's on that vegan diet of cock, and allegedly, of course. And that got like, nope, one arm, boop, pick him up. Now throw him down. Throw him right. Oh, no, throw him down over here where I can watch. Yeah, curb stomp him right over here where I can see. Damn it. Oh, there you go. Oh my God, quit your job. Stop it. He was only attacking you guys. Oh my God, I can't believe that this is happening. He attacked a bunch of cops, so he's lucky he didn't get. I
feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Anti-ice rioters get tackled in Austin. Good, I'll allow it. You guys can also shoot him in the dick, by the way, with your pepper balls. All right. Look at this. This is great. This is Breaking 911 over here.
Guy shot me in the nuts.
Awesome.
And now I'm losing a ball.
Hilarious.
Surgery is tomorrow.
Now let me just position this, lads, because he's losing a testicle, right? But he's painting his fingernails like a douchebag, Lefty. Yeah, you should. While you're in the hospital, you should probably get your blood checked for AIDS or monkeypox, whatever degenerate disease you might get encounter with other idiots that paint their fucking fingernails like a weirdo. Yeah, you catch your kid. You come home one day and your son has painted their fingernails. Got the fucking hand off, boys. Right, just like Star Wars. Right, Cantina your fucking kid. Don't obviously do. I have to like. Can you imagine what a stupid fucking world that we live in? Where after I make a Star Wars reference, I have to go. And by the way, don't do that. Like that could be like you've got a lightsaber at home. Because it's a fucking douchebag. Well, you told me to cut my kid. Fuck yeah, again. Get your blood checked for monkeypox. Anyway, so this man is all concerned that he's going to lose a testicle because he got shot in the balls by ice. Were you rioting? Huh? Is this fuck around and find out? Is this cause and effect? Go to lose.
I shot me in the nuts.
That's just hilarious. I shot you in the nuts. There is a video of a guy who's asking questions to this ICE agent. ICE agent, like, I'm not answering your question. Get out of here. Come on, you're distracting me. I'm trying to, hold the perimeter here. The guy, no, oh my God, Viv, quit your job, Viv. And the ICE officer blasts him point blank range in the nuts. Hilarious. Is this the same? The other guy got a little bit more of a lisp. This guy's going to have a lisp after this surgery. That's for sure. I shot me in the nuts. Hilarious.
I shot me in the nuts.
Always good.
And now I'm losing a ball.
Hilarious, sir.
Surgery is tomorrow.
Don't care. Did you tell the anesthesiologist that you take anal poppers? Allegedly, that's people are gonna wonder how I know about anal poppers, Abe. Listen, I got a PhD in degeneracy when that dude running for governor of Florida was found overdosed in a hotel room. There was all types of crazy stuff, just duffel bags full of drugs. Gay dudes are wild, man. That's just crazy. Like, what gay sex isn't enough, right? You gotta have an entire duffel bag of shit nobody's familiar with. Anyway, dude, I would be very open and honest with your doctors and your nurses and your anesthesiologists over here because you probably got blood clots and all kinds of other real stupid shit allegedly from taking heroin or whatever you Democrat goofballs are doing these days, allegedly, of course. But that fucking nose ring and that gay stash right there, screaming. Hey, and you got an immune deficiency. Make sure everybody knows, right? Everybody, if you're working on this, dude, triple glove up, right? Allegedly, of course. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, good luck with that one testicle, you fucking weirdo. Hi guys, thanks so much for watching the Sports Channel. Kept today. These douchebags getting shot in their buttholes. They probably like that. Abe. Hit that subscribe button. Abe. Bye. This is Salt. That's fun.
That was a crunchy. What's up, Chill? What's happening? Honey Monster, what's up? I come here from Dr. K interview. It was great, so I searched you up. Well, thank you. I contacted Dr. K last year, right? And I was like, because he had mentioned before to me through Discord that he might want to do a follow-up with me. So I said, you ready to do that? I'm sober now. I mean, because I'm sober 2 years. Right? So he gives me this response. It's not no, but and it's almost like yes, And then I hit him up again, like he says he got to see what his team says. So the next time I hit him up, he's like, "Look, I have a team now. It's not really up to me." He's like, most of my time now is spent traveling to other shows, and he's doing something different. He has a team, so it's really not up to. He'll bring it up to the team again. So apparently, he got away from doing what made him big, which was doing interviews like with me, but he did it mostly with gamers. But so fuck him, because I don't think there's too many interviews that he had that had 1 million views. You know what I mean? So my girlfriend got me a stuffed animal for my birthday. Jesus Christ. Okay. Glad to hear you're sober. Oh, well, thank you. Well, I'm in a hellified situation. I live in this recovery house, and it's not going well at all. It's really not. It's a very nice place, but right now I got one roommate, but they just look, what the fuck these motherfuckers did, these greedy motherfuckers. They put a bunk bed in here. So now when I wake up, I look at that in the morning like I'm in prison, So $700 a month for this bullshit, right? So I'm desperately trying to get the fuck out of here. I don't have the money to move yet, but I need a place to move. I'm trying to rent a room somewhere. I got a much better job, much better guy to work for. And I found that my nemesis on another crew just tried to commit suicide again. Fucking Christ. So I think that dude was looking to rehire me. I ain't going back to him. He's too hard to work for, and he's disloyal. No loyalty whatsoever. The guy I work for now is cool as shit. I mean, I work for one guy. All he had me do all day was weed whack. Like, fuck that. And him and this little pint-sized girl would fucking run the mowers all fucking day. Fuck you. Fuck's sake, you can't even jack off in peace. Yeah, I know, monster. This woman's fucking ridiculous. I mean, I like this woman that runs the place, but I like her personally, but her business is she's clearly fucking greedy. You know what I mean? Like, do you really expect 4 fucking people to live together in a room and go to work? Like, I get up at 5 a.m. So good luck getting 4 guys to be quiet from 9 o'clock, which is the time I try to go to sleep. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just going to destroy me. And one guy in here, dude, he snored like it was unfucking believable. Talking in his sleep loud. Like, oh my God, man. So they were supposed to move me into a 2-man, right? So the fucking houseman, who I thought liked me, but he stuck it straight up my ass, moved me, kept me here, and put this fucking thing in here. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Trust me, you got no fucking friends in here. Anybody I ever got close to in one of these joints stuck it up my ass. You know what I mean? You can't trust none of them. Drunks and alcoholics. You just can't trust them. Some of them fool you for a little while, but eventually they'll stick it up your ass. So it's time to go anyway. I've been here a couple of years. I mean, this is just bullshit. And she cut me a break at $7 a month. She wants $8. She wants $800 a month. 8 beans. We got 11 people here. She's making like $4,000 a month. Easy. Like, what? I reckon living in a van would be better. Well, you know, I mean, that would be a struggle in the extreme heat and extreme cold. You know, I mean, you'd have to run, you know, you'd have to keep the thing running all night. To worry about getting robbed. You have to join the gym to get a shower, right? It's just too much bullshit. 7 bills. Sounds steep for a shared room. Yeah, and dude, she cut me a break because I've been here a while, but she wants 800 off a lot of these motherfuckers. I mean, she's fucking nuts. Greedy. It's the only thing you can, you know. It's a very nice place, but it doesn't matter how nice it is when you got fucking 3 roommates. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck cares? You know? The only reason I got a moment's peace to myself now is because my roommate, well, my mom roommate, right? This dude, I mean, I kind of get along with him, but he's fucking nuts. He's on SSI. He gets a nut check. All kind of medications. See, now recovery, right? At least half of the people are on some kind of medication, be it Suboxone, be it the shot, be it methadone, be it some people, they've convinced some fucking dickhead doctor that they're ADHD. They get Adderall, then they get benzos at night to sleep. So, you know, the whole recovery house thing is fucked up too. They cut people a break if they come up with a dirty urine, depending on who it is, or you can go into a detox for 3 days, or just go somewhere for 3 days and come back with a clean urine, and they let you back in. There's people that will literally cause all kind of problems, and they won't throw them out as long as they're paying their rent. You know, it's just, it wasn't like this years ago. Years ago, dirty urine, you're out. That's it. We'll see you. You know. You know. So. I mean, you know, and the people that get the nut checks are here all day. They eat your food. You know. I mean, I just went down in the refrigerator for my bacon. Somebody ate my fucking, you know, it's just a lot of fucking little nitpicky things that just, the disrespect, the selfishness. It's just too much. It's just too much. But I was supposed to go into this 2-man room, and the houseman, who I thought liked me, stuck it up my ass. So, you know, so I'm stepping up my efforts to get the fuck on out of here. It's hard to save money because I owe Reese money, and you know, I just, you know, so here you go. Last week, this asshole was snoring so fucking loud he had me up till 1:30 in the fucking morning. Right? I get up at 5. I'm dog tired. It's raining as soon as I get off the train, and the guy tells me, "I'll pay you for a couple hours." He's like, "Just go home." Right? I wound up losing my wallet on the train because I was so fucking tired and out of my mind. So I lost $130 cash, all my cards, you know, fucking bullshit. So, you know, but I fucking hate these places, dude. And the only reason that I've stayed here this long is because Reese fucked me about a year ago. He fired me. Joe fired me. You know what I mean? All for bullshit reasons. You know, they're both fucked up to work for. You know what I mean? And this dude here, I mean, I have yet to see any problems with this dude. You know what I mean? Like, he's not a jerk off. He's not looking to criticize you at every moment. You know what I mean? And Reese's problem, this motherfucker wanted to cut lawns so fucking low. It was ridiculous. I mean, these people get their lawns treated and they're sky high in the spring. So you cut them high until summer really breaks out, like July. You know, you can start cutting them a little lower. But as low as he wanted you to cut them, you'd be spending a lot of time cleaning up the lawn. It didn't make any sense. Nobody does that. Nobody. I work for a lot of companies. Nobody does what he wants you to do. And the only saving grace is he's never there, so you can do what you want. You know what I mean? As long as the lawn looks good, shut the fuck up. But you know, he couldn't get that concept. A Chinese diesel heater. You're funny. You're making me laugh. Well, a converted van. Yeah, well, I'd have to fucking be able to buy a van, wouldn't I? If the roommates were all female, I can turn a blind eye. Yeah, it's you know, dude, it's ridiculous. She's got 11 people in this house. She's got 1 2-man room. The houseman gets his own room, and 2 4-man rooms. It's fucking ridiculous. It really is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, you got to deal with these, and at least half of the people are on some kind of drug, you know, from some doctor. You know what I mean? It's and they're either slobs or, you know, they're not respectful in a lot of different ways, you know. And I'm sitting down watching TV the one day, and this dickhead sits next to me and starts talking on speakerphone. And I look at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, dude. They just don't give a fuck about anybody else but themselves. And if you say something enough times, oh, well, Jimmy's a complainer, this and that. Yeah, these fucking people are nuts. It's like a bubble. You know what I mean? They're fucking nuts. Paying all this fucking money. You know? Yeah, see, I'm all the way, like I'm like another good half an hour more travel time than I had to go to for Reese. So it's a good hour and a half in the morning, hour and 40 minutes. And then it could be 2 hours plus going back. So it's a lot of travel time. Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't really mind the travel. I take 1 bus and the train. The guy picks me up. So it's not that bad. I mean, you know, I got my phone, I got a headset. But still, it's a lot of fucking travel, you know. I mean, if I get the 4:38 train, I ain't getting home till 10 or 7, something like that, you know. But believe me, they're gonna fill this room with 4 people, and then I'm fucked. I'm fucked. You know. I mean, what are the chances of me getting them to respect the fact that I got to go to bed at 9 o'clock? You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to happen. So I hope to God I can get the fuck out of here before that happens, because I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I'm 62 years old and I landscape. It's a semi tough job, you know, but I need my sleep, man. You know, I can't be having these fucking jerk offs waking me up. And I mean, my one roommate, he's on Social Security. I mean, it's a safe bet. I'll get at least one more roommate that's on Social Security. These motherfuckers, they don't have to get up any certain time. They don't give a fuck. Half of them are so drugged up, they're sleeping half the day. It's not recovery anymore. It's not what I remember. You know what I mean? Like this whole MAT, it's called medically assisted treatment. It's just another fucking scam for the pharmaceutical companies to make money. You know, I mean, I'm completely sober, no drugs at all for 2 years, and I don't think there's anybody else in her program that can say that. So, you know. 9/11 flatmates. Sounds gay. Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous, dude. I mean, I got a fucking look, I got a fucking bunk bed. Oh. And then there's 2 regular beds. It's like I'm in the joint. You know what I mean? It's the first thing I think of when I look at that. Like I'm in the joint. It's fucking terrible. But, you know. I guess everything happens for a reason, you know? I mean, that's what I tell myself. It's kind of a really fucked up situation. But, you know, what are you going to do? Yeah, I'm trying to get a place near where I work. Or even if I went to Glenside, but you know, there's a ton of scammers on Craigslist. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as I get an out-of-state phone number, I already know. You know, they're trying to get you to send them money, and God. Even if I put no scammers in the text, you know, they text broken English. You know, fucking. So I don't know. And where I work now is pretty close to my brother, so where he lives. So this guy apparently he don't like to work weekends too much. You know, I mean, I told him I'd work. But, you know, just to get the fuck out of here. You know, there's right nowhere to go around here. I mean, I'm in the hood. You know, I certainly wouldn't want to walk around here late at night. You know, not that anybody's ever fucked with me, but it only takes once. It only takes once. I'm seeing a memory from last October. I saw Andrew Dice Clay. He was nowhere near what he was years ago. Yeah, his new comedy isn't that funny. It just isn't. He's really not that funny. So if anybody feels like donating, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link at the top of the page. Yeah, like now there's this lawyer's page, Robert Gouveia, right? He says bizarre new evidence uncovered in Trump assassination plot, and he has it titled "The Lone Gunman." And that kid that shot Trump's ear. You're not hearing anything about this shit. Like I don't understand. It's just, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. You know, all this bullshit goes on. Even when the conservatives get in here, you don't hear what's going on. It's like, what the fuck? Can you hear that music? Yeah, you got to deal with some of these fucking music every fucking day down here. Right? There's just never any peace. You know, I mean, I'm amazed I'm in this room by myself because this fucking dude, he likes to sleep all fucking day, all fucking night. It's just ridiculous. Is it news if it isn't new? Yeah, well, fucking. I think, you know, when I move, I think I'll be able to do better streams, you know, because like I don't know, man. It's kind of fucked up. You know, I mean, I didn't stream last week because I was tired and there was shit going on. Both my roommates were in the room. It's just, you know, you got no fucking privacy. You really don't. You got none. And don't get me wrong, it's a very nice place, but who the fuck cares when you got 3 fucking roommates? You know what I mean? Like, it really doesn't matter how nice it is at that point. I've outlasted a lot of fucking people. I've seen a lot of people come and go. They get high over stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like, once you go a month or so without doing drugs, it's not that hard. It never was for me. It's just staying stopped. You know what I mean? Probably said, Jimmy, did you see AJ in the No Kangs protest crowd offering blowies for Bitcoin? Yeah, where is that pussy? I don't see him. I didn't ban him. I said I would ban him because he made a comment on one of the videos after the stream. He's going to get mad about some fucking bitch on the internet, right? That we don't even know if this bitch even exists. Do you understand? He lied and said his mother died. You know? So it's not a stretch to not believe him. What's that say? Stop music in the name of drugs. It's just fucking, just unbelievable. Well, I got the job part down. You know what I mean? Like, I have zero drama at work. You know what I mean? Zero. I mean, I get along pretty well with my boss. I mean, he seems like a good dude. You know, he just wants to get the jobs done. There's no drama. There's no asshole employee you got to fucking work with. You know what I mean? I mean, he has a friend that helps him Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and the dude's all right. He knows what he's doing. He hustles. I got no problem with him. He's actually in recovery too. So. He was talking to me about coming up there. I'm not going from one recovery house to another. I'm not doing it. Just not fucking doing it. I'm not. No, I want to get a regular room. Be in my own fucking room. Because I don't think I can afford an apartment. You know what I mean? It's just it's too much money. Or I'd have to live like a rat. You know what I mean? We judge based on the content of his character, not skin color, just like Martin Luther King Jr. Now, I got in an argument with some liberal yesterday about DEI. He said, what do you think of that? I said, I think it's racist. Well, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, if you think that you should get some special privilege because of the color of your skin, that's racist. That's it's the whole fucking enchilada. No, it's not. It's about equity. I'm like, oh God, man. You can't talk to these brainwashed fucking morons. I mean, let me tell you something. When I worked for Joe, he caught an area in the suburbs. There's a bunch of black people. These people got $300,000-$400,000 homes. They all got nice vehicles. Their children are respectful. You know what I mean? All their kids went to college or started a business, or, you know, because I talked to a few of them, you know. I haven't heard, I've yet to hear any rap music in their neighborhood. None. And they're almost a carbon copy of white people. But of course, they had the Black Lives Matter signs out. Vote for Kamala. But some of them were for Trump, and they were like, "Look, I'm not putting the Trump sign out in the lawn because of the shit that I'll have to hear from them." You know what I mean? But you go down Center City, plenty of professional black people carrying briefcases, doctors, lawyers, nurses, politicians, judges. So they made better decisions in life. You know what I mean? Oh, shit. I'm getting fucking tired. Okay, so what the fuck? Okay, so I might do one of these videos that this kid, Spencer Carter, what a fucking retard. Now, this dude is like autistic, and I used to bust his balls all the time, and he would block me, and I would go in on a different email. But this kid used to crack me up. I mean, he's definitely autistic. And this is somebody busting his balls about one of his videos.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome. This is the Internet Shock Jock Spencer Carter. Before I start, please don't censor me, and please don't take my words out of context. The views expressed by yours truly don't reflect anybody else. It's just my opinions. John Voight is doing his damn deliverance rant again. He wants my beloved President Joe Biden to be impeached. I got news for you, John Voight. Sit your old X-rated Midnight Cowboy ass down and shut the fuck up. Leave my president alone. Yeah, I said it. Yes, I'm defending President Joe Biden. Hey, Mr. John Boy, I got a message for you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You are old and sour, you are through. Fuck you. Fuck you. By the way, John Voight, leave President Biden alone. John Voight is bad for America. What are your reactions?
You see why I liked him? Oh my God. He was fucking cringy. I think he had 1,000 people at one point. But 98% of them were just breaking his balls, like slaying them in the comments. Oh my God. Pretty fucking funny. Let's see what this video is. Come on. I don't even know what this is, but I'm going to play it. Is it all a scam? See if it's any good.
Is the IT painkiller. Remote monitoring and management, remote access, help desk and ticketing, smart automations, patching, software deployment, scripting. And the amazing thing is that it does all this while still being easy to use. It's magic.
Today we ask, is it all a scam? This bin collector, trash collector, got caught in a more than compromising situation in California. Where else? But let's start out by saying that this is in fact a global situation, a global question. Is it all a scam? As people across the pond on both sides ask the question. As you can see here, so as I mentioned, this is California, and they are, of course, different bins set out to have people, it's not rocket science, as you know, to have people throw their trash into different bins.
Right.
General waste that can't be recycled is the idea, and then different types of recycling material. But as you see here, this dude's throwing it all in the same place. What is also worth noting at this point is that I believe in California, where this is taking place, you can in fact get fined if you were to mix your rubbish, your trash with general and recycling waste. But there he is, just putting it all into one place, straight in the truck to go to the same place. And I've done a few videos recently here in the UK where councils are already finding people. There's a guy who went on holiday and put his trash out a little bit early, and I believe got fined £1,000. £500 to pay if he paid on time, though. Great. And then there's talk of councils checking your bins as well to see if you are recycling correctly. And this, as I mentioned, is in the UK, and I'm sure people, our friends in the US watching this, will be able to highlight maybe if you're in California or anywhere else, what issues you may have had in regards to fines, and whether you've been subject to those as well when stuff like this is taking place. So that's the question. Is it all a scam? Or is it just few and far between these sort of examples? Or is it all ending up in the same place, as many people here in the UK as well have suggested? What do you think? Tata.
Yeah. I heard something about with the plastic, they don't recycle the plastic or something. Who the fucking knows what the truth is, you know? I mean, these days they've obfuscated the truth about anything so bad that you really don't know what to believe. You really don't. You got to go on down a rabbit hole to find out what the truth is. And generally, you know, like especially the mainstream media, the first thing you're told probably isn't the truth. You could probably win with that idea and be skeptical about everything they tell you. You know. And then, you know, the way they teach history, just all kind of shit. You know, I don't know. It's just, it's a bit depressing. You know, you can't, you can't trust, you really can't trust anybody, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so sick of people anymore. You know, you just can't trust them. There's John Ritter on the Jimmy Dore show. Developing a nuclear weapon will be the end of Iran. What the fuck is this? Psychotherapist reveals the dark sexual perversion behind being trans. Well, I think maybe we should watch that. And it's only 6 minutes long, so what the fuck? Let's get a little education going here. And to solidify my transphobic nature, yeah. Phobic. What a joke.
Why? Oh, you've got to have Dr. Azheki. Why haven't you had him on, you horrible man?
Why haven't you had me on?
Well, because I've asked several times and you were busy. However, yeah, you've forgotten that. Tell me a bit about your background. What do you do? Who are you?
Okay, so I'm a consultant psychiatrist. I'm quite rare because I'm also a psychotherapist. Mm-hmm. So I do both. And I worked in the NHS for 15 years now, work completely privately. The thing that people know me for is I'm the only consultant psychiatrist in psychotherapy that specialised in treating gender dysphoria with psychotherapy. And I did that. I ran a specialist service in the NHS for 12 years. I don't treat it now because the climate is so difficult.
Oh, wow.
But I treat everything else. So, but that's what I'm known for. That's what all my research publications have been in.
I see. Okay.
Including this wonderful book.
This wonderful. That's an early plug.
But you haven't read. But,
yes, I haven't read.
Getting it is the first step.
I have the book, and I wasn't sure at what point you were coming on, and then didn't get to read it because you have to read all these books. It's mad the number of people you interview, and like, how can you get through all
the top of the pile?
I'm reading Dawkins's new book.
No, the order's wrong.
Well, I'll tell him that when I have him on. When did you first start thinking, okay, what is going on here? I mean, did things start to suddenly change with regards to referrals and people coming to see you with gender dysphoria?
Well, if I hadn't done medicine, I was going to do fine art. And I couldn't decide. I got into both. And then the day before, I thought, well, I'll do medicine first, much to the relief of my parents. The other version of me would have gone to the Slade, done fine art, and I'd probably be one of those people on embankment selling pictures by the railings. And having come from an art background, I thought, this thing about sex changes, I mean, this is amazing. We can actually change people's sex. I mean, how on earth is this possible? So I thought, this is bloody brilliant, this is. And my first job after I qualified was in plastics as a very junior houseman. And I was helping the plastic surgeons do the operations. And I thought, okay, well, this is clever that they're moving bits of the body around a bit, like plastic surgeons do. But what's happening in their head? How are you changing their head? And I went into medicine to do psychiatry because I was always more interested in the mind than the body. And then when I went to psychiatry, nobody seemed to be thinking about it. And people were either not thinking about it, or a small group of people in gender clinics were also not thinking about it. And I thought, this is a bit strange. And then I went to the Portman Clinic, which is part of the Tavistock and Portman. And I was there for 12 years, training and working in forensic psychotherapy. And we all had a different niche. Someone had specialized in pedophiles, someone specialized in shit fetishists, and incest. And my specialty was gender dysphoria. So I set up a service, which I ran for 12 years until I left. And it was a psychotherapy only service. So there was it was not attached to any gender clinic. So what I wasn't was a gatekeeper. I wasn't someone to say, oh yes, you can go and have this, you can't have that. So people could be completely honest, and it was basically a neutral exploratory space for adults who came saying that there was something wrong with their sex or gender. And that 12 years really informed my understanding of what it was.
Okay. And I suppose the next question then is, what is it?
Well, it, and if you think about the term trans, is really an unhelpful term. It's an umbrella term. So you've got people that used to be called transsexuals who believe that they should be the opposite sex. There are a small amount of them. Then a huge amount of what we used to call transvestites. Nobody talks about transvestites anymore. So the majority of people who we refer to as trans are transvestites. And there were either people who were fetishistic, so they cross-dress and got sexually excited and masturbate, or people who weren't overly sexually excited but were afforded some sort of advantage, like they felt more confident, or they, you know, those are transvestites. And then a very small proportion were what we call autogynephiles or AGPs, which a lot of people in the gender critical group confuse with fetish transvestites. They think that every man who's obviously a fetish transvestite is an AGP, but they're not. Autogynephilia is men who have the sexual fantasy of having female bodily parts.
Okay, as opposed to fetish transvestites who have get arousal from the wearing the clothes.
So the transvestite is you know that you're the sex you are, but you get something out of putting on the external vestiges of the opposite sex. And analytically, there was a paper written years ago where they described the young boy who has a smothering, overpowering mother from whom he feels claustrophobic from.
Pink Floyd, The Wall. That's what that was about.
Was it?
Yes.
It was a transvestite though, was it?
He was weird. And Roger Waters, it was all about mother, all his songs about his mum. And he has gone a bit weird.
Had long hair.
Yeah.
But so the boy with the smothering, overpowering mother, claustrophobic, then gets power over his mother by putting his mother on and taking his mother off at will. And there's that. So with perversion, with sexual perversions, there's always a root of trauma. And with trauma, you have a number of outcomes. Either nothing, or you get a bit upset and get over it, or you get something along the PTSD spectrum with nightmares and flashbacks, or very rarely, you sexualize it. And by sexualizing it, you get dominance and power over what would otherwise traumatize you. There's no choice. You don't say, well, what am I going to do? It just happens. So everyone we saw, the Portman clinic was basically a sexual perversion clinic. It still is. For every perversion, we saw a trauma at the root of it. So
what's up with all the rings and the fucking bracelets and shit this guy got on?
The putting your mother on and off again is why a lot of transvestites look like Hyacinth Bouquet, because that's what their mothers look like.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let's go down this rabbit hole a little bit. Okay, stop screen. Ah, fuck me. Nothing better to fucking do.
I love having a microphone. So I'm Az. So when I was 18, I had to make the decision whether to do fine art or medicine. I got into both, and I decided the day before to do medicine, much to my parents' relief. But coming from an arts background, I always thought that sex change operations were fascinating. I mean, this must be the ultimate sculpture. But I was always more interested in minds than bodies. And my first job it was in plastic surgery. I helped do the sex change operations. I thought, okay, what's happening in their heads? No one's changing their heads. And I went to psychiatry, no one was thinking about it. Then I went to the Portman Clinic, where I trained and worked in forensic psychotherapy. And that was where I developed the specialist UK-wide NHS, the only one that's ever been, and there hasn't been one since, adult gender dysphoria psychotherapy service. So anybody could come for therapy. I did individual and group therapy. And I learned loads from doing it for the 12 years that I was running it. Sorry, yes? Is that better? Yeah. So what I found was that even though everyone was coming with gender dysphoria, they were different, and you could clump them into groups. So there was the people who used to be called transsexual, and these were people who wanted to permanently change their bodies, who believed that they should be the opposite sex. That was about 25% of the patients. And then there were about 26% of the patients were people who had a sex change and then regretted it, and they may or may not have detransitioned, but they were post-operative regretters. And then there was a huge amount of transvestites. Nobody talks about transvestites anymore, but there's always been far more transvestites than transsexuals. And they're people who don't want to change sex. They just want to temporarily reside in the vestiges of the opposite sex, either because they get excited or because they get sexually excited. So there were fetishist or non-fetishist transvestites. And then there was the autogynephiles, AGP, which often gender critical people confuse for transvestites, but they're men who get sexually excited by the fantasy of having a vagina and breasts. And there was a very small number, about 5%. And whilst I was there, I also spent a couple of days a week in the TAVI GID service. And my role there was mainly to be a heckler and a troublemaker, because what I saw was camp boys and tomboys coming in and being trans. And I said to the director at the time, isn't what you're doing mad? Because these kids these are 4 or 5 year olds. Aren't they just going to end up being gay boys and lesbians, or just neither? And his response was, would it be any more mad than them being gay? And this came from the Tavistock, where homosexuality was considered an inversion. It was pathological. I went through 2 terms of teaching when I trained there on the pathology of homosexuality. Anyway, that's the background to the clinic. The Portman Clinic was very gender critical, and they were happy for me to set up these groups. What I found was that in the transsexual subgroup, there was almost 100% autism and or trauma and or internalized homophobia. And the thing about autism is it gives you a very black and white, rigid framework. You're very rules based, and their idea of what it meant to be a male or female was very, very rules based. So you can divide people into the gender confident, who do what they like with their appearance, and they say, well, if I don't fit in your framework's rubbish. Or the gender underconfident, the autistic person, who says, I need to be like this, and this, and if I'm not, I must be other. And they're not able to be subversive or creative. And what I found was that the degree of autism also correlated with how likely they were or not to regret it. Because what I found was they'd be presenting with this initial sense of inauthenticity for their own sex. They didn't feel they were doing it right. They didn't like rugby, they didn't like football, they didn't like getting into fights, or all these caricatural things. And then there was the autistic mindset, which realized they were a bit different, probably because they're a bit geeky, or they didn't quite get on and communicate like other people. And they realized there's something different about them. Then they searched for a meaning as to why they were different. And then for some reason or other, these particular people latched onto the idea that maybe they're the wrong sex. And then, a bit like me in my maths A level, they came to this conclusion which made sense to them, that was incorrect. And they latched onto it. And the thing about the autistic mind is that when they're certain of something, they're certain of it. And if you don't agree with them, then you hate them. And I know what I know, this is what I need to do. And they pursue that. And so there's a sense of inauthenticity about themselves. Then there's this fantasized, idealized solution of the trans self. And then there's the sex change. Then there's a period of transgender euphoria. And then, depending on the degree of autism, there was then a realization that it wasn't everything they made out to be. So the ones who are really autistic didn't get that problem, because they were thinking, well, no, I've got long hair and a dress and the makeup, everyone knows I'm a woman. But the ones who weren't that autistic had the realization that maybe people aren't seeing me as a woman, or vice versa. And that would lead to the transgender dysphoria and the sense of inauthenticity of themselves again. So it was a circle. I did both individual and group therapy, because I was trained in individual psychotherapy, and I'm a group analyst. And what I found is that the group setting was far superior. In the one-to-one setting, the very dyadic, black and white, male, female, yes you are, no you're not, was was the case. Whereas in the group, where everybody in the group was either a transsexual, a transvestite, an autogynephile, or a regretter or detransitioner, the analysis was by the patients. So in group analysis, it's analysis of the group by the group, including the individual, including the conductor. So it wasn't just smarty pants me saying this, that, and the other. It was each other. So they would say, "Hang on, you sound just like me, but you sound completely mad," and that was fine coming from them. And the post-operative regretter or the detransition would say, "Look, you sounded just like I sounded 10 years ago." So they were able to do it that way, and it was wonderful. And they could stay in the group as long as they wanted. I saw some people every week for 10 years, and that's how well I knew them. They tended to get better after about a year, but they just like being in the group. What I found is that less than 2% of my patients went on for any physical, hormonal, or surgical things. Less than 2%. Because once they'd realized that this solution they had wasn't really a solution, but it was a proxy solution for something else underlying which they were escaping from, and once they dealt with that, then everything was okay. Remember to flash the cards at me if I'm going on too long.
Minutes, yeah.
2 minutes, okay. What time? 2 minutes. So there's a definite link with autism, trauma, internalized homophobia. Like I said, I'm the only psychiatrist in psychotherapy who offered this for gender dysphoria. It doesn't exist at the moment. I think that's what people need. All my regretters said, when they regretted it, they went back to their employers, their family, their friends, and they said, "Why didn't you just say what on earth you're thinking about when I came out?" And they all said, "Because we're being supportive, because that's what I meant to do." And they said, "Well, I wish they hadn't been supportive. Why could they said, "We wish we'd had a group like this," because the group was challenging. It wasn't confrontational, it was challenging. So when someone said, "Oh, I feel like a woman," the group said, "What does that feel like?" That's not a feeling state. Like, feelings are happy, sad, irritated, angry. There's a feeling of being a woman. So the problem is when people say that they are the wrong sex, absolutely nobody says, "How do you know? How do you get there?" And my therapy was just basically trying to get them to show you that they're working through as to how they got there. Because in the hundreds of patients I saw over the years, not a single patient was able to accurately convince me or anyone else as to what it was to be a man or woman. They would only ever describe external characteristics, like I like long hair, I like the dresses, I like cooking, I'm emotional, I like playing with boys. It was always nonsense. So I actually think there's no such thing as trans. I think it's a proxy solution for something else, and I think the medical profession has invented something but I treated adults. So with adults, I thought, well, they can do what they want. They're adults. All I want to do is help you think. I don't want to convince you to do something or not to do something. You can do what you want. I just want you to think. You can do whatever you want. Just think about it first. And so if I was there trying to convince them not to do something, it wouldn't be helpful. It had to be neutral. That's why I can't imagine working with kids, because I would know in my head that I really wouldn't want to do that. But with adults, I thought, well, as long as you spend time thinking about it, then decide, but then they invariably didn't. Thanks.
I'd say he was fairly reasonable. Chris Cross, who brainwashed him. I think some of these people get brainwashed, and I think others of them actually have some kind of mental problem where they think that if they're a boy, they think they're a girl, or a girl thinks she's a boy. I think it's a sad thing. I think it's very sad. Because, when they get these operations, the suicide rate hasn't dropped. And from what I understand, the biggest gender clinic in the UK closed down because they did studies that confirmed that the surgeries weren't helping them. You know, I mean, it's fucking sad. All I know is that Samantha used to come on here, fucking wimped out, talk all kind of dog shit on Trump. And then when I busted her balls, isn't that great? Busted her balls, because that's true. Well, her ain't true, but when I busted her balls about Trump, she got all offended and blocked me. Ain't that some shit? Couldn't fucking handle it. Yeah. Yeah, I find that shit, that kind of shit interesting, certain psychiatric things. Like most psychiatrists today, you know, they're going right along with the whole gender thing. You know what I mean? Where that guy was like, you know, 25%. Yeah, they used to call them transsexuals. The transsexuals were the ones that had the actual operation. But most of these trans people don't get the operation. For one, it's expensive. For two, there's a lot of complications that go along with it, a lot of infections. And I mean, a lot of these people, all they really want is to put on the men feminine clothing, maybe the women male clothing, and that's enough for them. You know, and I don't care about any of it. But when you start with the pronoun game, and you look like Steve, and I got to call you Susie. Nah, that ain't happening. Oh, Mark Dice did something that's 17 minutes long now. What is causing the transgender epidemic? The suppressed science. Edward Dutton's controversial views on different races. Let's try that. Looks interesting.
Ed, do you? Well, yes. Do you feel less comfortable with people of different races? Would you say?
Certainly not individually. No.
Not individually.
Well, I think that it's natural, and it's just, I'm afraid it's just the way it is, that people like being in their evolutionary match, and their evolutionary match is to be around people that are similar to them. There were studies that indicated that when you are shown photographs of people of your own ethnicity who are strangers, then right, fine. Then if you compare that to showing you photographs of people of a different ethnicity that are strangers, it activates your amygdala, it activates this primitive part of the brain that's associated with fight and fright and flight. So this is a fact that people are more comfortable with people of their own ethnic group. This is just true.
Is it not a case where we of maybe perhaps we should fight biology in that sense, and to have a fairer society?
Well, I don't know that it makes it fairer. I think that you have to be realistic about biology. You can't fight. These are.
Well, you can. So you might want to just go masturbate in the corner somewhere biologically, right? But in society, that's probably not good if everybody does that, and so you hopefully behave.
Well, that may be the case, but certainly, on an individual level, I make a point of treating everybody the same. And I know that the research indicates that leftists don't do that. They alter how they talk with black people, let's say, because ultimately they think that they have lower IQ, and they think that, and they talk down to them. Now, one of the things that happened to me when I was in America, which was quite interesting, I can't remember whether I mentioned this to you when you were on my show, but I was in Detroit, and I was interviewing all these various black people, and one of them actually commented that no white person. I asked him directly about things like race difference and intelligence and whatever, and he said to me that a white person never talked to him like this before. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I'm just talking to him, directly, bluntly, and normally white people they don't do that.
But I agree with you. I mean, you're being
patronized by them.
You're being critical of the patronizing woke way of talking to different minorities, and I totally agree with you on that. I don't like this idea at all. I mean, I'm wary of sounding naive because I don't have the empirical evidence in these things. So I am wary of that, but I don't like this idea at all. And I feel like it's something, if that is the case, I mean, really what you're saying is unconscious bias. The sort of woke unconscious bias is very real. And I just think, well, maybe so, because I do believe we have biases.
People are adapted to be with people that are similar to themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see, even as a foreigner in Finland, I'm aware of it.
Yeah, but that's not a different skin color or anything. That's different culture, different history.
Different culture, but there's a certain different look. They know I'm not one of them.
I see.
I've been in cafes in Finland in the areas where there's a Swedish minority, and I'm with other Finns, and the waitress speaks to them all, asks them what they want in Finnish, and then turns to me and asks in Swedish.
I see.
Because she knows I'm not. She can see.
Sure, but had you been born in that country, you would adopt the same cultures. And
even then, I think they would think I was because of the nose.
Because of the nose, quite possibly. I don't know. I certainly would like to think I don't feel less comfortable in areas of different ethnicities. But if you're talking about different ethnicities combined with socioeconomic factors and those kinds of things, maybe that does start. If it's a really difficult one, I think, with cause and correlation to prove anything here, because often minorities and people, they often are from lower socioeconomic backgrounds where there is more crime.
But you can deal with that by just looking at brain scans and how people deal with photographs of random strangers of different ethnic groups.
Well, yeah, but they might feel that way because of how they've been made to feel based on their history.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have some criminality with regard to, let's say, Jewish people or East Asians. There wouldn't be that association there, but it triggers the same sort of thing. So I think that it is something that it's built into us, and it's quite natural in any organism to select for those that are. I'm not saying natural is good. I'm just saying it's the way it is. Whether it's a moral question is not really of interest to me.
No,
I'm interested in what is the case.
I appreciate that about you. I think that I appreciate that about you, and you're not interested in the moral. You're interested in what is the case, and I think that is interesting.
So at a one-on-one level, I don't see why anybody would have any trouble interacting with people of different races. I mean, why on earth would you? And I don't understand those. For example, I've had on my show a friend of mine, Lipton Matthews. He's a Jamaican researcher, and a number of people have objected to this. They objected to me having an intelligent guy on my show to talk about whatever we were talking about just because he was black.
This is a concern.
And I found this incomprehensible. And similarly, I had an intelligent person on my show to talk about whatever it was to do with politics who happened to be transsexual. And I found it incomprehensible that the reaction of some people, which was that, what's the matter with you? How can you have this pervert on this troon?
I've had the same thing when I've gone on, say, Tim Pool's podcast, where just the whole comments were Jew, he's a Jew, and all that.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, I've had many Jewish people on my podcast, and the same thing. I went, why? What?
But what does that say? And I don't mean to sort of make you guilty by.
Wait a minute, Tim Pool's Jewish? I didn't fucking know that. I thought he was Mexican.
It by association, because I find that a terrible thing to do. But does it give you pause, considering that a lot of your
my
audience...
wife says this kind of thing to me. She says that your research is sort of helping, backing up the prejudices of racists. And I thought, but I don't care. It's I'm looking for what's empirically accurate. And some of my research, a lot of it indeed, indicates that woke dogmas and everything to do with it, environmental determinism, historical determinism, whatever, is wrong. It's a dogma, it's not scientific, it's anti-scientific, and it's wrong. But some of my research comes to conclusions that people that are right-wing don't like. And that, I think, shows the fact that I publish that research rather than suppress it.
Yeah.
Shows that I am intellectually honest. So if people got very upset with me that I said that the research indicates that Ashkenazi Jewish people have an average IQ in America have an average IQ of 112. They are
Is that high?
That's very high.
Okay.
As an average IQ, it's the most.
And I think I'm even high for Ashkenazi Jews.
You may well be. Well, yeah. If it's 112, then that would be the average IQ of like a school teacher. So if you're higher than that, so you can see that that seems to be just as fact. And you get these people that are like that can't be true because that implies that the Jews are better than us. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's not implying anything better or worse or anything. It's just a fact. And it's this fact value conflation that's a fundamental fallacy. And this autism I had it the other day when I was on Richard's podcast and I was stating various facts about things. And this woman said, oh, I don't know. I mean, saying that women are less logical than men. I mean, that's not very reasonable, is it? I mean, you've got to take into account if you say things that's going to hurt people's feelings. So, I mean, that's not a very reasoned or logical point to make. I was like, you're saying it's not logical for me to say that because it hurts people's feelings. You're just proving my point about the logic.
Prove the point.
And so I think that I don't care about that, and that's what I was saying. Perhaps earlier we were talking about subclinical psychopathology.
Okay.
Now I don't care.
But here's the issue that you
and I shouldn't have to care.
Well, I'm making you care. No, look, here's the issue that you and I both face here is we do have, whether we like it or not, some quite right-wing or quite not so nice people following us and love bombing us. And we know from study, here's some studies I do know about, is that beliefs aren't really formed in the pursuit of accuracy or knowledge. We don't form our beliefs hoping to be right or whatever it might be, as much as we think we do. We form them based on the group around us and our peers and the pressure. Now, we'd both like to think that we're outside of that and above that, but we are humans and we are going to be affected by them. And that might lead us to a fact value situation where we end up making a value call over somebody like David Duke based on perhaps the history of our peers pressuring us in that sense.
Well, possibly, but I like to feel that I'm relatively resistant to that. I mean, I've got a study that I'm about to publish, which shows that people that are transsexual have elevated IQ compared to people that are not. And I imagine that a lot of my followers might not like that. But I would rather sit down with a logical and reasonable leftist like Jim Flynn than a person who agrees with me for all the wrong reasons.
I think that's a great point.
I think I've seen Dangerfield have that guy on. Didn't I? Did you have him as a guest or show a clip of him? Some shit. So, a few people came in, huh? What's up, Sheila? Linda? It's hilarious. Lipton. Is Lipton the interviewer? I guess he is. Boss. Bex said people struggle to feel okay with just being themselves. Some turn to drugs and alcohol. Others get convinced they need to alter their gender identity just to feel okay. I don't know. I don't think I use drugs to be myself. I use drugs because it made me feel better. You know what I mean? Now, the question would be, if that's the case, then the question would be, why did I feel so bad? But I don't think it's that I felt so bad. It's that I just wanted to feel better, you know? I don't know. And even now, sometimes I get thoughts, you know, a couple beers would be nice. You know? You needed to feel numb from mom. Nah, I don't think so, Richie. No. It was kind of a trendy thing in the 70s to smoke weed, and it was kind of a forbidden fruit. I think I kind of liked that a little bit. A lot of the rock stars that I looked up to were, you know, they were drinking and getting high. I think that might have played a small part. And the kids I hung around with did. So... But my mother's reaction was just over the top. For smoking weed? I mean, Jesus Christ. If she'd have left me alone, I might not have tried other drugs. You know? I don't know. I really drugs were escape from the gray reality for me there. Well, it's a bit of that. Yes, I would totally agree with that. Yes. Yes. I mean, it's nice to come home from work and have a couple drinks, you know. A couple drinks, or some people like to smoke a little weed. You know, I really don't see much wrong with that. But, you know, and when you get into harder drugs, that's a problem. you know, or if you can't stop drinking, if it's more than a couple drinks every day, you know. Like my boss told me, he smokes a little weed. He has no problems. You know what I mean? Seems like a pretty decent guy. I mean, you know, I don't really know him, but hey, that's his business. But he's never been in any drug rehabs that I know. I don't think so. You know? So Sheila says, Richie, it was surreal joining you on your stream. A lot of people and lunatics were taking the streets. Let me tell you something. That No Kings thing that I was at yesterday. Oh my God, what a bunch of fucking idiots. I mean, to name the rally No Kings is the dumbest. Like, and I've said this before. If they named that rally Fuck Trump, I would have more respect for them. You know what I mean? So that's why I made the sign, Trump is king. You know, because that's just as ridiculous as No Kings, or it's more ridiculous, I think. That's why I did it. A lot of people laughed. A lot of people gave me the finger. I just yelled, fuck you, everyone. You know. My brother said, you guys and gals are the best. Just came back from Jack Hardcore. Who the fuck's that? Is that somebody? What's up, Nelson? We love Peter Dutton. Yeah, I think I saw. Did Dangerfield have him on his stream, or maybe he did some videos of him? I don't know. Sheila says, when did she put that? Jimmy, you were the man last night. I was at that protest for about 5-6 hours. My fucking feet were hurting at the end. I was the only one counter protesting. The only one. Because I had some guy from KYW, which is like a news radio around here. It's been around for years. Everybody knows it. He interviewed me. He said, you mind me interviewing? He said, what's your name? And I said, Jimmy from Philly. And he's like, so why Trump is king? And I said, well, I'm basically breaking balls. I think what I just said to you guys, I think no kings is ridiculous. I mean, obviously there's no kings. Trump hasn't said he wants to be a king, but they're all claiming because he's pursuing immigration law that we've had on the books for many, many decades, that he's some kind of king. And I told a couple of these leftists, I'm like, that's something the media put into your head. And that's why you're saying, oh, no. I'm like, listen, if somebody didn't tell you that, you would never came up with this. You know what I mean? Because it's nonsense. There is no kings. Our system of government is set up so that you can't be a king. You know, and obviously Trump isn't a king, but, you know, I just did it to bust their balls. Because, and I'll say it again, if they said fuck Trump, if that was the name of the rally, I would have much more respect. But no kings? Fucking ridiculous. The only guy in Philly who had to buy his own cardboard and marker. Bless you, Jimmy. Yeah, I bought a marker for $4 and the poster board was $1.19. I got one that's slightly laminated, so it held up in the rain. It was real light rain, extremely light rain, which I was grateful for. You know, but you know. So, It's Jack London's stream, Jimmy. He co-streams with Ragnar Ironspear. It's always a great stream if you ever join us. All right. Richie said, you should invoice USAID. Well, I went down to this art store, right, because I was considering it, and I was on the phone with my brother, and Richie's like, Jimmy, don't do it. They're going to fuck you up. I was like, man, fuck these people. You know what I mean? And I was considering it, and I was considering what my brother said. I don't want somebody to hit me over the head, you know, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. So I found an art store like 0.2 of a mile away. And I was early to that protest, like 10 o'clock in the morning, right? So I went over there, and he's like, and the guy says, yeah, a lot of people coming here buying posters for the rally down there. I said, yeah, well, I'm a different kind of guy. He said, what do you mean? And I had already written the stuff on the poster, and I undid it for him. He's like, oh, he's like, watch yourself. He's like, be safe. I said, yeah, you know. And Jimmy said, not at night. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. Oh, are you kidding me? I wouldn't go down there at night. Well, I'd go down there, but I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't fuck with them. You know what I mean? Nah, no way. Oh, they would fuck me up. Are you kidding me? See, that's the thing. That guy, Professional Douche, on YouTube, he trolls conservatives, right? He trolls the shit out of them. And I've yet to see anybody really hit him. Now, I've seen people threaten him, people get in his face, but he's such a retarded looking dude. You know, I couldn't possibly get mad at the guy. I would think he was hilarious. I'm not going to get mad at somebody counter protesting me if I'm out there with conservatives. I just, you know, it's not going to make me angry. It's not, you know, but if the guy's funny, which he was, and what's funnier is these people's reaction to him. But you can't troll the left like that. They'll fuck you up. Somebody will fuck you up. Yeah, you got to watch. I mean, I had a couple of people take a swing at me. You know, well, one dude tried to grab the sign, and I knew he was going to do it, so I had it half folded up, you know. And then we squared up, and then somebody got in between us, and then he got away from them, and I just turned around, squared up again. I was like, come on. And then the police ran over, and he ran away. Another asshole put an air horn right near my ear. And there was these two people that got in between us because I was like, do it again, dude. I'll fucking break your jaw. And he's running his mouth. And the guy come over to me, one of the guys that broke it up, and he said, listen, I'm a de-escalator. That's my job here. He's like, would you mind moving from the area? I'm like, I'm not moving. I said, my solution is to punch him in his fucking mouth. That's what I'm going to do. He comes near me again, he's going to get it. It's that simple. Win, lose, or draw, that's how it's going to be resolved. I'm not leaving. I'll leave when I want. I was like, yeah, no disrespect to you. I understand. He can move. And then when I moved, he started following me, and I was watching him. And he's running his mouth. What'd you say you were going to do? I'm like, I said what I have to say. He didn't get that close to me, so, you know, I just fucked him up. Yeah, you were, it's Jimmy from Philly. Get him. Yeah. Yeah, it was, you know, a little ridiculous. And then I had a bunch of younger people, black kids and Spanish kids, kind of surround me. They weren't threatening me, but the one dude, he was just so loud, dominating the conversation. I let him go on and on. I'm like, dude, do you have to scream and yell? I mean, what the fuck? Like, he's telling me, you know, laws change every day. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, the immigration laws haven't changed for decades. You know, if you try to sneak into Mexico like they sneak in the U.S., you get a year in jail, in a Mexican jail. And if you survive that, then they kick you out. You know what I mean? So, anybody watching Jimmy Dore? I was watching a little bit of it today. I forget what it was. I only watched about a minute. I only watched about a minute. Forget what the fuck was I watching? Let me pull it up on my phone. For some reason, I'm unsubscribed to like all these channels. I was wondering why I wasn't getting notices. Like, what the fuck happened? You know? Jimmy Dore stage immigration riots. I watched a little bit of that. I think there was another Jimmy Dore. So there really weren't, I don't think there was too much violence that went on last night. I mean, I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they're saving that for another time, you know? Who is Nick Shirley? Let's see if I can. Nick Shirley. I'll subscribe. What the fuck? Yeah, he put out a video. Trump is a king and must be stopped. I'm going to put a comment. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I do take some of your suggestions when you say to listen to streamers. I just have a hard time doing the long stream thing anymore. I used to love it. I mean, I'd watch every one of HB streams, start to finish. You know, and for some reason, I just, you know, I can't hang in there. I don't know. I used to do long streams myself. I mean, some of these know that. 6 to 8 hours almost every day. Every fucking day. But, yeah. I don't know. I just ain't got it in me no more. What's up, Shadow the Hedgehog? Rivas Garage Cave 27. Jesus Christ, dude. You got a long enough name handle it? The fuck? Yeah, I had a few people interview me. I had probably 5 or 6 people interview me. Yeah, it was all like independent media. Right. Exactly, Billy. Billy, I say it all the time. I do not trust Jimmy Dore. I don't trust him. Well, let's see what he does when the progressives get back in power, if they ever do. Let's see what he does. And now he's all about the truth. I've said that. He put some dumbass rant. He put some dumbass video out within the last year, and everybody in the comments were like, "Jesus Christ!" You know, I forget what it was about, but it was ridiculous. These nuts. So Jimmy, Sheila said, Jimmy, I remember you being a guest on Dangerous Stream a lot, always quality. I always thought I was an idiot on Dangerous Stream. So I've yet to see AJ. Maybe he's went away. I saw him on HB Sheen. I tried the username. Yeah, that's the name of a Pink Floyd album. I used to have it. No, not of an album. It's the name of a song. It's on the album Ummagumma. It's a wild-ass song, too. All right, well, listen, people, I'm going to get out of here because I'm hungry. And I got to go to bed at 9 o'clock. So I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by. I mean, I appreciate it. Sorry about last week, but, I mean, the situation here, it's kind of tough to find a little privacy and stream. I mean, I'm sure when I move and, I got to save up some money. I mean, I got to do something, man. I got to get out of this fucking hellhole. I got a much better job, much better boss. Got no problem with this guy. Just get the work done and I'm done, But where you live, it shapes your whole attitude, and Jesus Christ. I was working with this lunatic on Reese's Crew, and I just had enough. I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't come home to this insanity and working insanity. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I had to quit Reese. I mean, I kind of let Reese down. He's a friend of mine. I like Reese. He doesn't have to teach me anything. I know most of his lawns, but hey, you don't want to fire some fucking idiot. I don't know what to tell you. And he's still getting paid. That old money, he tried to make an issue out of that. Like, fuck you. I'll pay you. All right, well, I'm out. Hey, it should get easier to get landscaping jobs and the pay should get better. Well, I mean, I do all right, Your pinned comment link isn't working. I don't understand that. Because less illegals. Yeah, maybe some companies, I mean, most of the Mexicans I met, I would say the high majority of them I liked, and they were good workers. There was one or two that were just complete fucking assholes, but the majority of them were just good workers. They didn't want any trouble, legal or not. I mean, Joe had a guy, he was pretty good. I mean, the dude worked. Never complained, I mean, he was all right. I forget his name, Juan, fuck knows. But, all right, well, I'm out of here, people. All right, I'll see you.